Hi, everybody. Welcome. I would like to introduce Ashley Wilson. Ashley works for a company called the Network Communication with the Food Group. Hi, kia ora. Can you please explain a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself?
Kia ora, Claire. Thank you very much for having me today. My name, as Claire said, is Ashley Wilson. I'm a registered New Zealand dietitian. I work for Network Communications and I head up the food group within Network and the food group. So we are members of the FMCG. We're food creatives and we use evidence-based insights to help you navigate the diverse field of food, nutrition, and we create those conversations that really count with the people who matter in our industry.
Awesome. I didn't even know that job existed until today. So, what sort of subjects did you take at school to get into this, and how did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so when I was at college, I really wanted to pursue a career that would help improve people's health and the quality of their overall life. But the typical path, so like becoming a doctor, nurse, or physiotherapist, really didn't spark any interest for me. So I really enjoyed doing food tech at school, and I also was dabbling in the sciences. I met with a career advisor during my college years. And because I was growing up in regional New Zealand, I wasn't exposed to a very wide range of career options. So after speaking with the career advisor, she introduced me to the fields of like food technology and dietetics, which really immediately caught my attention.
And so, what types of jobs did you have leading up into your current job?
So I was really lucky with my career because it opened up a wide variety, a really diverse range of roles, both here and overseas. I went from being a clinical dietitian at Waikato Hospital to running my own business in England and contracting to the National Health Service to introducing the first hospital room service in New Zealand. Quite a broad range of roles that have come from my career path.
Oh, that's amazing. So, can you explain to us a little bit about what you do in your current job, in your current role, and the sorts of people that you would work with?
Yeah, I'm currently in my role at Network Communication. I consult to major trans-Tasman food industry organisations. And this includes supporting these businesses in developing things like nutrition policies, and these align with public health guidelines, so the reformulation guidelines that are in place for Australia and New Zealand. And these food reformulation programs, they aim to really enhance the health of New Zealanders and Australians, and they reduce specific target nutrients in consumed products at the supermarket. So from the food nutrition policies that we put in place, the food technologists then use these within the companies and establish new products, or they reformulate existing food products to improve their nutritional profile.
And what sort of new food products are there? Like, what sort of new things are happening?
Yeah, so the trends at the moment are very much around like probiotics in foods. So we're seeing a lot of new nutrition claims and products out there with promoting probiotics. So probiotics in yogurts. There's also the high protein phase at the moment. So lots of products are saying high in protein, or they're increasing the protein in their products to market their products. And that's not just a trend here in New Zealand. We're seeing that globally as well.
And is there evidence that that actually helps, or is it a bit of a marketing thing?
Yeah,
Do
so
you,
having
do you
high
think?
protein in your diet is good to keep you full for longer. So
Mhm.
it helps with your if you're managing how many calories you're having because you're eating less if you're fuller for longer. There is a maximum amount of protein you should have in your day, otherwise you start putting pressure on your kidneys. So That's where a dietitian comes into play. Or if you have things like kidney disease, then you really need to manage how much protein you are having. So these products aren't recommended for that group of people in the population, but in general, having a higher protein diet is fine.
It's that concept, of like, there's different diets and things, and what might work for one person is not necessarily going to
Hmm.
work for the other person. And you might not know that you have a kidney problem, or you might not know that, too much protein is not going to be good on your body. And so you just smash it back and,
Yeah.
it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be ripped, all those concepts. So it
Yeah.
definitely requires, like, is advice that you would give to people, like read the nutritional labeling on products and things like that, because I
Mhm.
think that's a lot of the time that's missed. And I think, I would sit sometimes with my kids and look at nutritional labeling and what's the salt and what's the sugar and then the learning behind that. So I think that's quite important. But is that sort of something that you would be telling people to do?
Yeah, so another role that I did was work in private practice as a dietitian. So with that, our dietitians gave that advice on an individual basis. So would teach how to read a label and what to look for. For me, at the moment in my role, I'm looking at that more population health. So we're
Mm.
able to make more of an effect uh, at population level, whereas the clinical dietitians are able to work one-on-one and advise and how to really get around all the myths and get through the amount of information that we're seeing on, or misinformation we're seeing on the web and on media these days through social media.
Yeah, that's a whole other story, isn't it?
Yes.
And there's one question that sorry, I should have mentioned this before, and lots of people bring it up within education and within technology, and that's around the use of AI. Like, how do you have AI that you use in your role? How do you find it? How do you navigate it? Or is it something that you kind of just avoid?
Yeah, with AI, I feel like everyone has to get on board. You know, it's here. We have to embrace it and we have to get used to it. But it's also making sure that you really um, keep an eye on if you are getting answers out of AI, thinking, is that really correct? Because it does have, it can hallucinate and give you information which is not correct. So it is useful. I find it really useful if you're doing an email just to check it for
Mm.
grammar or for flow, or giving ideas if you're setting up. So the other half of my role is PR and communications, and it's really good for just getting you started with a project or giving you some really good ideas of where to start. If you've got a blank page in front of you,
Mm.
help me, where do I start here?
Yeah,
So it is useful to, yeah, to help with efficiencies in your work. And I
yeah,
also think we just need to use it carefully.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people saying the same thing. It makes you feel any
Mm,
better. It's a great tool to have in your toolbox. Um,
totally. Yeah.
so from like a educational point of view, or like a high school point of view, what sorts of subjects would you be looking to take at school if you wanted to follow in your kind of career path?
Yeah. So I think it's important to, with my PR and comms head on,
Mm.
definitely taking English. I've also found it really useful to have the sciences. So I did biology, chemistry, and then food technology as well
Mm.
were the ones that well, sat when I was
Yeah.
at college.
And finally, what kind of advice would you give to students that were wanting to come into a career like yours, or advice that you may potentially give to a teacher about, what life's like when you're outside of that school bubble? Because it's pretty different in the real world.
Yeah. Um, so my advice would be make sure that you're a yes person. So any opportunities that come your way, always say yes. You don't have to go down a specific path. So for me, coming out as a dietitian, most dietitians go into the clinical realm. And for me, I did that to start off with, but then I had a range of opportunities come my way. So being a manager in food service, when I was over in England, I did research projects. I also have now come into PR and comms, which is a whole new area of nutrition, and it's led me into the food industry. So, saying yes, being really open to different areas of your career path is really useful, and it also diversifies your career. And I think it makes you a really well-rounded dietitian as a result.
Oh, well, that's really valuable advice. I actually have a year 12 student who's very much in that zone of what am I going to do? So that's some
Mhm.
advice I'm going to give her. So thanks for
Great.
that. And thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you, Claire. It's been a pleasure.